Mining Minister Ngoako Ramathlodi is in London. Many investors in the UK will be eager to get his thoughts on South Africa's current mining climate. SABC correspondent Dan Whitehead has been following the minister. He's on the line now from London. Dan, good afternoon. Well, firstly, why is our mining minister in London?
Good afternoon to you. Yes, Minister Ramathlodi is in London. He arrived yesterday and this morning spoke at a breakfast seminar for mining industry leaders. He is in the UK for a couple of days. He is intending to meet with two UK government ministers. This, of course, all comes ahead of the big mining summit taking place in Cape Town next month in February. And he has suddenly this morning been discussing some of the challenges being faced in the industry in South Africa, commodity prices, and also off the back of what has been a very difficult and turbulent year and 12 months for the mining industry in South Africa.
Yeah, those subdued commodity prices, just one component that's been affecting us negatively. We are still recovering from strikes. We have a less profitable mining sector. What is the mining minister hoping to do, and what has he been saying on the convincing side to investors there?
Well, I asked him directly what his priorities were for 2015. He said that he has to stabilise the industry, and that sweeps across several boards, its policies directly towards the mining industry businesses, and also direct dialogue with the workers and the unions to ensure that we don't see a repeat of those several strikes which we saw across the country in 2014. He did say that on the point of strikes that we have, of course, now had settlements when it comes to the platinum industry. He said he doesn't expect to go back to the scenes that we saw in 2014. But as I say, stabilising the industry. And in terms of the people working on the ground in the mining industry, that means the provision of housing, establishing new communities for those who are coming to work at mines outside of mining areas. But he admitted that work needs to be done to maintain and uphold the reputation of the mining industry in South Africa. Of course, it accounts for around 7% of GDP, so it's incredibly important. He also answered a question I put to him about tax havens for South African and multinational companies who come in to South Africa, and there have been questions raised as to whether or not all that profit which is being created is going back in taxes to improve the situation in South Africa. He says, well, look, the government has to offer incentives to these companies to get them here in the first place, but once they make a profit, they have to remember those incentives, and that the Revenue Services Authority within the government have already collected substantial money, millions of rands from mines to ensure that it is going back into the economy. The one thing he wouldn't let me know on is this target for December last year for black empowerment of the mining industry. Of course, you'll remember it's meant to be at 26% by December 2014. No hint as to whether or not that target was achieved. That will be revealed in the results in March of the mining charter.
All right, that's where we're going to have to leave it. Dan Whitehead, the SABC correspondent in London.